Course I am. You remember a couple years back when the stock for Cradle Pharmaceuticals shot through the roof? Stacked a few bills over that, if I do say so myself.
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Well, not a problem. I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. About the experiment, remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room? You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Junpei, who do you think did it?
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS? It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter.
Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that CAS thing?
We found it!
Found what?
We found it!
What did you find?
The last door!
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination. Don't get me wrong here, I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
No, I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
Now, time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations! I've chosen you to come with me.
Santa, I thought you were one of us. You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
It's the only way.
He turned to Ace and Lotus.
Please, go.
The world blinked. Suddenly, there was a voice inside of Junpei's head. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
Wait, what? What the hell was that? That voice?
Junpei was utterly and completely baffled.
Huh? What?
What's up?
Seven and Clover ran over to him, but Junpei didn't know what to tell them.
Huh?
If he told them he'd heard a voice, they'd laugh, or worse, think he was going insane. So all he said was,
Oh, nothing.
He cleared his throat a little too loud and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. There were a pair of small buttons protruding from either side of it. Junpei. He pressed the buttons. I believe I did this one last, so let's try this one again. Left, right, left, right, left. That was it. Oh yeah, I got it. 8 numbers blinked on and then off on the bracelet display. Junpei checked the one last time. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Huh?
Huh?
Hey, what the hell were those numbers?
Oh my gosh, are those...
Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. He knelt down in front of the keypad, running over the numbers in his head so that he wouldn't forget.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
With trembling fingers, he punched them in. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There was a moment of complete silence. Then there was the sound of the coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat up out of it.
No way!
What?
Why are you...
Yep. She's so happy.
Oh? Is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you. Snake!
You? Why?
Junpei? And 7? Is that you? Is everyone else there as well?
Yeah, I know it's a long story, but we don't have time, so here are the footnotes. Just like Rip Van Winkle. Still, it was very much like Snake to simply cut to the heart of the matter and ask.
Jeez.
Junpei and Seven shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears.
You're back!
With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms.
Gently now. My body's still a little weak.
Oh, you're back!
Clover looked like nothing so much as a lost child who had finally found her home. But as great as this reunion is, the most important part is Snake's number is number 2. Which means they can get through that door now. She cried and cried and cried. Her eyes were red and her nose was running. She hiccuped and gasped as if she were about to begin hyperventilating.
You're back! You're really here!
Her voice was happy but almost desperate, as if she feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. Her small arm strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Perhaps she was worried he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do.
You're back!
Come now, what's gotten into you?
We thought you died? That's what's gotten into her?
You're acting as though I've returned from the grave.
Kind of.
Not as though. You did. I really thought you were dead.
Huh?
You jerk! Idiot!
And at least in this version, Clover is alive to see him again. Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer talk. It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time and every minute they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and Seven sat down on one of the pews, waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired.
I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you. In the shower room, there is a dead body wearing my clothes. Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
He had quickly and neatly summarized the events of several hours.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room.
Pretty much.
Do I have it straight?
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Yeah, because Seven didn't know about that part.
Sorry, there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Don't worry about it.
Well then. I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why. The corpse in the shower room that looked like me, and the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were?
You don't know?
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
Okay.
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes. But you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. We need to figure out who that was.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up. I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
I would feel violated if I was Snake.
When were you knocked out?
Good question.
When we split up to look for the red.
Where did they get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A canister releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room.
Oh, how very nice of them.
I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent.
Which means Zero was truly responsible for the swap.
Then that means it was...
And Zero basically saved Snake.
Zero.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
Junpei crossed his arms and thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes? How would that benefit Zero?
If Snake was still alive.
I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean? And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from? Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
Telepathy. Seven had asked him about it while they were waiting for Clover to finish crying. He had no answer for him then, and he still didn't.
All I know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, and theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. And someone did actually die. A girl. Her name was...
There had been another experiment conducted on this same ship 9 years ago, and a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory.
All of the clues we've gathered throughout the entire story.
The 2 murders. Switching clothes. The Nonary game.
Whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together. And the point connecting the dots.
Zero. He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship.
Yep.
Zero should know everything. If we can uncover Zero's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. If only he could test it. Or perhaps...
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost importance that we escape. Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes? That means we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Isn't that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
And adding snakes 2 makes our route number 9. 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 2 is 18. 1 and 8 equals 9.
Oh yeah, you're right. With Snake, we can open the door.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
Nah, he hadn't. As they sniped back and forth, Junpei glanced at Snake's left hand. He was wearing a bracelet with the number 2 on it.
Come on, you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
7 stomped off towards the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. 7 quickly laid his hand on the red. An asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner. Soon, there were 4 asterisks on the screen. 7 glanced at them, and then laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Yep.
Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
You want to check something?
Yeah, but before I do, 7, could you pull the lever? I want to make sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need...
Just do it, all right? But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay?
Uh-huh.
Please, this is really important. I really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
He's gonna work out that Ace is the one who attempted to kill Snake. Junpei looked directly into Seven's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment, then nodded.
Fine.
Seven pulled down on the lever, and door 9 creaked open. Then they waited. 6, 7, 8. After 9 seconds, the door closed.
All right. That means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
So, we knew that already. It's obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
Why don't you take it out, Clover?
For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei.
So you did know I had it. I picked it up because I thought it might be useful sometime.
She reached into one of the pockets of her voluminous jacket and produced a bracelet. Junpei took it from her and turned to Seven.
This was on the left hand of the corpse in the captain's quarters. If you look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face. Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap. Then I should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet.
4 plus 5 plus 0 equals 9.
Though the big question is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, will he really put one of these bracelets on? Anyway, let's just give it a shot. Clover, give me your hand.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet. And pull the lever.
However, the door didn't open. The red's display read error.
I knew it. Now, what does this tell us?
Maybe the bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
Nope.
No, that's impossible. Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet? Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
Seven waved his bracelet in front of the scanner panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what does that mean? There's only one possibility.
That bracelet isn't the number 0.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Then what number is it?
Let's find out.
Junpei, scan the bracelets with this combination. Now we already know the answer to this. Except that option isn't showing us. Ah, yeah it is. I lied.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap.
7 and Junpei. 7 plus 5 equals 12, plus 1 plus 2 equals 3.
If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Hey, it opened! Have the door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
Both Seven and Clover seemed rather shaken as they turned to look at Junpei for answers. The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised an eyebrow.
Isn't it obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
7 plus 1 plus 6 equals 18, plus 1 and 8 equals 9.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
Oh.
Oh.
Why though?
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it. I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
But I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with.
Oh?
Her bracelet was flipped.
She's a 9. June is number 9, which means... Oh my gosh, and it makes sense too, because if there's 2 9s, there are 2 number 9s.
In other words, June's real number is...
9.
That seems the most likely.
So technically she should be September.
Get out.
I would show myself out, but I'm playing the game, so...
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
That's true. Clover grabbed Junpei's notebook and began to write furiously in it.
Here, look.
Junpei leaned over and looked at it.
List of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake?
Okay, so door 1 was door number 4. 6 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 equals 22. 2 plus 2 equals 4. If we change that 6 to a 9, 9 plus 3 equals 12, plus 5 equals 17, plus 8 equals 25. So that should have been 7.
And that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were. So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work.
That's true.
If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Oh.
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really.
Santa wasn't always 3.
You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind. Now,
That's
doesn't that
true.
beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing?
Because he needs her.
The answer is easy. Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 and Lotus. Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3.
There we go.
Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah, sure.
7 took the pen from a confused Clover and began to adjust her calculations.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake?
His is 0. Which means Santa is 0.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way. Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6. Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3.
Right?
Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
That is true. So wait, are you saying that June and Santa are connected, or does June even know what's going on?
Santa was still playing by the rules of the Nonary game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not. But I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0.
Yeah,
If my hypothesis is correct.
it would make sense. Clover bit her lip. She seemed to be having some difficulty believing her brother's explanation. Junpei. Junpei remained silent and thought.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right. June's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets. And if that's the case...
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
Yeah, we can talk as we go. Door 9 opened. They leapt through.
Oh, it's right there.
The dead was directly in front of them as they came through the door. Quickly, they scanned their bracelets. And the detonator stopped.
Oh.
After pausing for a moment to catch their collective breath, Junpei and his companions headed down the long hallway in front of them.
All right, let's keep going.
At the end of the set of stairs leading down into the... At the end was a set of stairs leading down into the ship.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
They leaned out and looked over the side.
Looks dry.
Let's head down.
After deciding it was safe, they headed down the stairs. Before long, Junpei and his companions found themselves on the bottom deck. They turned left into another hallway, at the end of which they found another door.
Hey, it's a...
And of course, there was a symbol engraved over the keyhole. It looked like the sort of harpoon one would use to hunt fish. The kind with 3 prongs. That's Neptune. Snake traced the shape of it with his fingers.
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Neptune key. I only have the Uranus key card.
Clearly, it wasn't going to open the door.
It's a different planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah.
After examining the door for a few more minutes, they gave up and headed back the way they'd come.
Hey, another door.
With a little more searching, they found a metal door.
And a card reader this time.
A symbol was engraved into the card reader.
It's the Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
He muttered to himself and slid the card through the reader. It beeped once, and the light on it turned green. With a heavy metal groan, the door creaked open. Junpei, Clover, Snake, and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and stepped through. The room they found themselves in was full of books.
Wow! It's totally full of books!
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
It looked remarkably like a library. Not the sort of library where large numbers of people came to read books. More the sort of library that was simply a place to store them. He felt a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of books, but Junpei did his best to speak with authority.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge. As he began his search for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Another puzzle. And we've got Junpei's face again. Welp. This one says transition of extinct species. You need to hurry up or we're going to end up in the pages of books like that. Microphagia, huh? Yes, Robert Hooke's famous work, first published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects, inorganic substances, and other things too small to be seen in detail by the human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of the things he'd examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know he had tails to begin to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail? Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better to put to use elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young, I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Because he's a genius? Creatures of the South Seas, huh? I wonder if this one's got pictures of colorful fish and stuff. Introduction to Geology, huh? Thinking about the Earth even when you're on the ocean. Kind of romantic in a way, I guess. Theories of the Cambrian Explosion? Did a bomb go off near somewhere called Cambria? Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Oh. What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, switch them around? Switch them around? Yep. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a try. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Ah! Open here, find bulb. How about this? Looks like putting those books in the right order opened this thing right up. Hey, that was a piece of cake. Hooray! Did it, Junpei? I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spelled out, open here, find bulb. The light bulb looks like it's brand new. And it's really big, so it'll make a lot of light. Okay. Quantum gravity? 7, do you have any idea what this is? How about you start by using real words? Then maybe we'll get somewhere. Are property values going up out in space too these days? Man, guess times are tough for aliens too. This one says cosmic inflation. Supersymmetric string theory in 10-dimensional spacetime. Huh? They're just talking about superstring theory. It's a theory of reality where... how to explain? It says that all elements of the universe are governed by the vibrations and harmonics of tiny supersymmetric strings. What's this? An overview of conformal field theory? Ah, well, it's a theory that posits an invariant quantum field where conformal transformation can take place. Knock it off with the science voodoo stuff. You trying to put me to sleep? Oh. There's a note on that table. Lights to the books. Huh? What does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, maybe 2 to 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next? They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not at all. I live in the darkness, yes. But that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. Huh. Dad kind? What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary. Leibniz? This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. Sheldrake? Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... I don't get that reference. It says Ryman hypnosis. What is there to hypnotize about with a Raymond? Isn't it pretty straightforward? Heavens no, there are many factors. Length, girth, lubrication, or lack of. It's an exciting and rapidly growing field. Whoa, whoa! Algebraic number theory? Math, huh? There's another one like that over here. You mean something like primary number theory, or analytical number theory, or geometry? Oh my gosh, how did you know? Nobody said anything about those. Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there too. Looks like I was right. Pythagorean theory. This is a famous one. It sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. That's funny. What's that? Why is that funny? There are dim lights on the floor. The dim lights are sets of 3 points across the floor. They're very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it in one of those lights? Yeah. Well, it'll get a lot brighter, but if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 light bulbs. We need 3 light bulbs, huh? Okay, guess I'm going hunting. This bookshelf has a sort of glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there's only 6 books in it. That seems kinda weird. Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. Can't really see it though. The glass is all foggy. In the middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you've got the right ones to open it? What the hell is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot. Except I don't know. Oh. 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5? Six, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. Oh, look at that! Yeah, they really did give it to us. You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Ah! Another light bulb. Feels like a light bulb. Pretty high wattage too, unless I missed my guess. This should generate quite a bit of light. Okay. This iron plate is bolted down. I don't think it's a door. I think it's just a wall. This big opening is the door to the library. It's pretty impressive. Almost looks like the door is a shrine or a church or something. There's another door after it, and then a passage beyond that. At the end of that passage is a door with that Neptune symbol engraved on it. Hurry up, we need to find the key with the mark of Neptune. Okay! This sounds like a job for the best brother and sister team in the world. Man, it's like Seven and I don't even exist. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Automated robotic assembly line techniques. Huh. What's that? Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh? No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague I don't really know what it might be about. Overview of photochemistry? I think whoever set this up wanted us to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay? Huh? Looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei! I think there's something hidden behind the books. This is a brand new light bulb. Looks like a pretty high wattage one too. Okay, guess we're going back downstairs. Don't shove. I'm not kidding, don't push me. What the heck, man? I wasn't gonna, but now that you bring it up. Alright, so there are 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change these bulbs. Now these should... Whoa! Those light bulbs really make a difference. It's pretty bright in here now. Wow, it's so bright now! It's almost blinding! Alright, that means we just have to do this. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look like music stands. Am I supposed to put something on those stands? I have no idea what I have to do next.
A few moments later.
Agriculture and Historical Organization of Folklore. Picture book. Here? Looks like it's an old folktale. Don't you think it's a little weird that this book's the only picture book? Maybe you ought to hold on to it for now. It's got a magic wand on it. Okay. So what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside. Smart eye. Whoa! It's a pop-up book. SE5? What is that? Well, when I opened it, these 4 letters popped out. So I guess it's a pop-up book, huh? SE5. I wonder what that means. Okay, let's take it over here. Small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look like the music stands. Hey, Junpei, you think maybe you're supposed to put those pop-up books in the stands? Then you could open them up. Oh yeah. If we do that, they make a shadow of the bottom there. True, but there are 3 stands, right? We don't have enough picture books. In other words, we need 3 picture books. Okay, guess I'm on the hunt. Let's see what we've got here. So many books here. Wonder what this one's... Whoa, what's this? Worm? Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? Book 7, there's a book that's perfect for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle Bone Density and Bone Strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. This one, it looks just like the picture book from earlier. The one with the pop-ups. You think they're part of a series or something? They do have the same binding. Okay. There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what it's in it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball stuff. Whoa! This is a pop-up book. It's got the letters H-E-A-D popping out of it. Okay. Functions of the human brain, huh? I guess this is a book about the nervous system? I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have the time. I'm kind of curious about it too. There's gotta be a reason why people connect with each other, you know? Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy. Regeneration of internal organs? This book's just called Dissection. This bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. This library must be massive. I'm rather impressed by how well organized it is. Principles of monkey behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies of monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to human evolutionarily, so I imagine the research was fruitful.
A few moments later.
Another one of those kids' picture books. Looks like a lot of the other ones we found. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! Guess it's one of them pop-up books, right? Got the letters L, R, and K popping out of it. Can't make any sense of them, though. Large, round, and kinky? Nah, probably not. Okay, so we've got the 3 books. Small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Okay, how about we try putting these picture books on the stands? Then... Awesome! It looks like it worked! Way to go, Junpei! Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. Sheldrakes. Aha! It says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Oh, maybe I have to interact with the thing first.
Sheldrake 5?
Quit switching from novel. Junpei read the text out loud.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Seven and Clover walked off, leaving Junpei and Snake behind.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Junpei grinned.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Yep.
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You did? Why?
Well...
Junpei's eyes narrowed.
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
Tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Snake's shoulders slumped, and he shook his head slowly.
Ugh.
He'd finally given up.
Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
Thank you.
But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Junpei nodded. With that, they climbed to the stairs to the top floor. We gonna sit on a table or something? Snake was silent for a moment after they arrived, then finally crossed his arms and spoke.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice.
Ah, so they're kind of working with Zero.
He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
Snake reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small, stiff piece of paper.
That's a Braille card.
Yeah.
It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the Nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However...
I didn't read it all.
They were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say, there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator.
Oh.
It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Snake nodded.
Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
Snake glanced down at Clover and Seven, examining one of the bookshelves.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you.
Yay!
I've decided to tell you the truth.
Yay!
The chance that Santa is Zero is very high.
Excellent.
I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the four-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it.
Wow.
He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Okay. Snake paused and cocked his head, as though he was listening to something very far away. His face looked dark, as though something was weighing on him.
Hey, Snake?
Junpei wasn't quite sure what to say. Snake turned and looked at him.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment.
Yeah, but she didn't say her name.
She told you all that, did she?
Snake looked down. His face was tight. A slight tremor shook his body and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell that he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made as if to brush something from his face and looked up at Junpei.
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes.
Snake nodded slowly.
The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Here we go.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo.
As we know, is Ace.
Nagisa Nijisaki.
No idea who that is.
Teruaki Kubota.
No idea who that is.
Kagechika Musashido.
No idea who that is, but we do know that one of the other 3 is the 9th man.
Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Also known as Ace.
Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning.
I wonder if that is who... No, actually, no. The build is wrong.
Kubota led the company's research and development division.
He looks more like he would have been number 9.
Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment.
Okay.
Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he'd heard those 4 names somewhere else before.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale.
Right.
To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project.
I'm wondering if the girl who died was Santa's sister. Because he mentioned that in the other timeline, should say. So I wonder if that was his sister who died. Ah!
The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize?
Right.
Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer.
Okay.
That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah. Not really, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it.
Right.
Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
Snake nodded.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem.
Right.
The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
I think I understand. The power of belief compels you, I guess?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Yeah, it'd be a little terrifying, actually. They'd be able to influence the people around them to doing what they wanted.
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then?
Okay, now you've lost me.
A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver.
Okay, the influenced and the influencer.
What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
That's a very good question, actually. Junpei thought about it for a moment.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began.
Snake suddenly looked very serious.
By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project.
Ah!
The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret.
Right.
Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field.
Which ended up with the 9 missing children.
Of course, none of them volunteered.
Yep.
They were kidnapped.
His face barely moved as he spoke.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
Wow. Oh, siblings. Yep. That confirms my theory. The girl who died is Santa's sister.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had one transmitter and one receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert.
So Clover is a transmitter and Snake is a receiver.
The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind?
Well, usually that happens after weeks of thinking about it for me, but continue.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger.
Of course not.
He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk.
Which is basically what we're doing here. What actually begs the question. If Zero is copying the Nonary game experiment, does this mean there's another group elsewhere that's playing the same game at the same time?
By forcing the children into a life or death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown.
Nice people.
Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely?
Because they worked together?
It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule.
Oh, okay.
All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely.
Well, that's interesting.
It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempts at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him.
Huh.
Just as Junpei was about to speak.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
Seven's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to stop him.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a Nonary game with any less, could you?
That's fair.
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children.
Honestly, I think the news withheld that information. I don't think they got it wrong. I think they just weren't allowed to report on that.
However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
New theory. Junpei and Akane were those 2 people. It would explain why they're so damn close.
They were brother and sister.
Oh,
like
no, never
Clover
mind.
and I.
Never mind, that just dispels that.
The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was...
She's the one who died. Snake couldn't seem to bring himself to continue. It looked as if what he was about to say brought him to great pain. So Aoi is Santa.
Her name was Akane.
Oh. What? As in June? Wait, last name please. Tell me last name.
That was the girl who died.
Junpei felt as if he'd been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
No, he said Akane. He didn't say Kurashiki.
Then, who is June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
That being said, coincidences in these kind of stories, I don't know anymore. Junpei shook his head hard and pulled himself back to reality.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Then Snake had noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right?
Snake raised an eyebrow but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear.
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of feet against metal dug at his heart. Sheldrake. This is it. This is what the shadowy picture was pointing to. But it didn't say 5 at the end of the shadowy picture. Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Guess we should just press this button. Two doors. What was that sound? Sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. The bookshelf is moving. It's a thick metal door. There's a handle in the middle of it, though. I'll check that in a second. Come on, door, open! Yeah. Nothing. Might as well try to open up a wall. I know you're feeling kind of rushed, but you do realize that's pointless, don't you? It's not going to get you anywhere. There's only one thing we can do. Let's go. There's a keyboard in front of the numbers. And there are 4 Roman numerals on the wall. It's got to be a hint of something. Of some sort. 13, 14, 10, 13. 13, 14, 10, and 13. Those are all Roman numerals. Do you think we just need to put in the numerals from the wall on the keyboard? No, you can't. The keyboard doesn't have many number keys. You can't type stuff like 3 or 4. Then that means the root number of it? So 13, 14, 10, and 13. So 13 and 13 is 26. Plus 10 is 36. Plus 14 is 50. It's like an outlet monitor. Bet the letters you type in the keyboard will show up here. Well, I bet you've got to type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with clear. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so what's the Roman numeral for 50? Oh, it's just L. Let's try that. Nope. Yeah, I've got no clue.
A few moments later.
Damn it. I just don't get this. What the hell is the point of these Roman... Wait, what is Snake doing? These Roman numerals, if you convert them to Arabic numerals, you'll have 13, 14, 10, and 13. True. But this keyboard only has letters and we can only enter 4 letters. Then why don't you just convert the numbers to letters? Convert the numbers to letters? Ugh. Why isn't this working? Hey, Junpei, I was thinking. Isn't this kind of like the other one? Other one what? Come on, you remember. The one in the captain's room? Oh. Also, for those who are wondering, I was just gonna literally like fill the screen with zeros and see where that got me. But yeah, no, that 35, 14, 18, 15. No, it's actually wrong. Shit. Oh fuck, that was so long ago though. Shit. They're numbers. But they're not numbers, they're letters. Okay, I got it. So 11 is A, B is 12, C is... No, 10 is A, 11 is B, C is 12, D is 13. So D, E, A, D. Dead. Yep, dead. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now! Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. Password was dead, remember? Just makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. You can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up! Alright, let's get to this thing open. The door opened, and Junpei and the others leapt through it.
Alright, this is the next...
Just as Seven was about to finish his sentence, their attention was drawn to the clang of metal on metal ringing out behind them.
Ugh, the door!
It's locked. They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed shut.
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all his strength.
Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but
Hey! Wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Yeah, it seems a little outrageous.
Oh, man.
They took a second look at the room they'd found themselves in. It was filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. It was like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who had picked up and shaken the entire room a few times.
looks that way.
Junpei's heart fell.
No way!
For real?
Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry.
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer.
Ouch! Yeah, don't pull your punches or anything, Snake.
I rather doubt that, however. So it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Another puzzle room. Oh my god. Hey Junpei, isn't this a nautical table? Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. New material has been added to the file screen. Gosh, this desk is really big and it feels really sturdy. Yeah, it does seem pretty heavy duty. I suppose it belongs to whoever uses this room, wouldn't you say? There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. It's so messy. I wonder where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we've solved in other rooms. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the puzzles and machines he'd need to see his plan come to fruition. It's a chair. There are 4 indentations on the desk. I wonder if I'm supposed to put something in them. It's so small. I wonder what it is. I've got no idea. A mouse. Nothing happens when I mess with it, though. Keyboard. Let's just tap a few keys, see if we can wake this thing up. Damn. No dice. There are 3 monitors here. Power's on, but there's nothing on any of the screens. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Damn it, looks like this thing's locked. It's not moving. Well, it's pretty obvious how we're supposed to open it. This monitor is part of the machine. It's really dim, though. It's got a map of the world on it, but I can barely see it. Junpei, it looks like there's a compass on here. Ah, now I get it. What do you mean? I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I solved a puzzle like this in one of the wheelhouse. I think I just need to do the same thing here. The same thing? The important part is this nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the nautical table. I used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm gonna have to use this wheel attached to the side here. Okay, then show me now. Of course. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. This looks like it probably works the same way the steering wheel did in the wheelhouse. If I just touch the direction I want it to turn to, the compass will turn that direction. Then I just gotta press stop when the compass is pointed where I want it to. I'm betting something will happen if I do it right. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so it's a good thing I have those directions already. Okay, so it's the reverse. Shit. Okay. Let's see what happens when I... Whoa. Well, now we've got something on the screen at least. Huh? What is this? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out that Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah. The dots on here look like dits for Norse code. There's 2 dots on the first line, 4 on the second line, and 1 on the last. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, perhaps you should give it a shot anyway. Alright, I'll try. Before I do that, though, maybe I ought to run through the instructions. If I just tap the buttons, it'll enter a dit. If I hold the button down, it'll enter a dot. Once we enter our answer, it'll automatically determine if it was correct, the correct answer or not. Alright, let's do this. No. The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Got a bad feeling about this. I don't think we're gonna find a relaxing sunny garden on the other side of that thing. Oh, come on. What the hell are you so scared of? Let me handle this. Ah! Damn it. Damn thing won't budge. I have to admit, I'm very curious about what might be hiding on the other side. Ah! There's something written on these pieces of paper. Looks like we've got 3 sheets of stuff. Okay, let's take a look at the file.
A few moments later.
How's it crap everywhere?
This is a pretty impressive mess.
If we try and search every one of these, we're gonna be at it till the cows come home. Well, that doesn't seem too bad. We won't have to go bring them in ourselves then. Don't you get smart with me, kid. How about we deal with this area later, okay, guys? Maybe we should try something more promising. Side of the machine. Rust makes it feel rough. These monitors hang down from the ceiling. Each screen shows a room on the ship. Might be something I'm gonna have to end up looking up, and that sucks. The Morse code chart. It was found in a steel shelf in the small cluttered room. It has a Morse code key for the letters A to 1. The short mark is called dit and made by tapping the button. The long mark is called da and made by holding the button down. Morse code chart. It was found on the steel J to R, S to Z. This document says 9-panel cross puzzle. First draft on it. It was found in the filing cabinet in the small cluttered room. Since this says first draft, then presumably it was improved upon in the second draft, then a third, and so on. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. 1, 2, 1, 0, and 3 equals 4. Oh, do not calculate the areas that are colored in. This screen is huge. I wonder why it's so blue. Maybe if I touch it. There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here with all numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the bottom green.
Hey Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle?
It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said. This is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Hee hee. Alright, let's go back and try again. Anyways, it looks like I just need to make all of the cells all green. It's this shit again. So A is 10, so this has to add to 10. I'm just pressing buttons at this point.
A few moments later.
Okay, so the A, so up here has to add okay, so I've got that. Oh! You did it, Junpei! You're so smart! I was actually just clicking buttons, so sorry. You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. Just what I would have expected of you, Junpei. Hey, come on, you guys are embarrassing me. Whoa, don't get cocky, kid. We don't have time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. Okay. Cross emblem. Oh, and then I put them on the computer, I think. Yep, alright, I put the emblems into the 4 indentations on the desk, but... oh, nothing's happening. Wait, what's Snake doing? I feel symbols engraved just above each indentation. On the upper left is the steering wheel symbol. On the upper right is the cross symbol. On the bottom left, the mysterious circle symbol. And lastly, the waffle pattern is engraved near the bottom right indentation. Additionally, each symbol seems to have been given a number. 1, steering wheel, 2, cross, 3, mysterious circle, and 4, waffle patterns. Perhaps we need to insert the emblems in this order. That order, huh? Okay, well, I managed to solve one. Ah, I have the thing now, finally. Now here's the question. What am I supposed to sound? So 2, 3, 4, 1. So 2, 4, and 1. Huh. Tells if I'm trying to type something. Oh, they're all one letter. So 2, 4, and 1. Okay. I'm just guessing. Nope. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be trying to spell on there. Oh, west. The second one is actually west. South, west, southeast, northeast, east, north, and east. Ah, I missed it. South, west, east, southwest, southeast, northeast, east, north, east. South, west, southeast, northeast, east, north. Nice! Yeah, you did it, Junpei! Good boy! Who's a good boy? What am I, your dog? Ah, knock it off! Hey, we don't have time for screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. It just kind of slid open and something came out. Oh, yeah.
I heard a noise too. Do you know that big box in the hall by the exit? I think it made a noise. Like something unlocking, you know?
A noise, huh? A metal plate shaped like a shield. There's a symbol that looks like a steering wheel engraved on it. Metal plate shaped like a shield. There's a cross engraved in it.
A few moments later.
The metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Alright, let's open it. Holy shit. That is pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in here. A coffin. Coffin. Oh man. Does Seven think? Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way. Could this be? I'm sorry, but what's going on?
It's a coffin. I wonder if there's a vampire in it.
Right, I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. Man, I can't bring myself to tell them. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. There's a metal plaque on the coffin. Snake's touching it. All ice. Ah, the two machines. Gulp. Holy shit. Man, this is serious. Oh well, let's open it, shall we? Clover, if you could give me a hand.
Okay, I got it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ha! No luck. It doesn't seem to be ready to open.
Yeah, but it's not like it's screwed shut or anything.
Yes, I believe it's locked in some other way.
Hey, Seven, do you think you could open it up with your superhuman strength?
No,
What's wrong?
I think I'll just pass on this one, okay?
What the heck?
Very well, we'll just have to give up on the coffin for now. Let's look around the room a little more, shall we? Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic. Is that actually true? Maybe it's ice. Have you figured out what you're supposed to enter here, Junpei? Looks like the word that's supposed to go here is 3 letters. It's got 3 lines, and I think each line is 1 letter. I see. Well, if that is the case, then perhaps the letters you need are made up of 2 symbols, 4 symbols, and 1 symbol, respectively. After all, isn't that what you just said? One line has 2 spaces, the next line 4, and the last only has a single space. I see. So in other words, I've got to enter either the dots or the dashes in a set of 2, and then a set of 4, and then just 1. Yes, well, so it would seem. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. I think I know what it is. I think. Yep. Yep. Ice. I see. It seems you've solved the puzzle, Junpei. Excellent work. The answer was ice. How did you know? All I had to do was listen to the sounds the machine made. After all, it was a trivial matter to decode them. Yes. I believe I heard a noise from somewhere on the right of the device after you just unlocked it. It sounded rather like something sliding open. Do you see anything that could have made that noise? Yeah, that's true. Yes, one more thing. I heard a sound from behind the shutter. Perhaps the coffin is unlocked now? But what? A metal plate shaped like a shield. It has some sort of weird pattern engraved on it. I don't know how to describe it. Considering where I found it, it's probably a code. Alright, fine, I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. It's just a box. Oh, holy shit, this is a coffin. There is going to be something horrible in there, I just know it. Okay. Deep breaths. Here we go. Oh man, there's nobody in there. shit. I can't believe I was scared of something like that.
What do you mean, nobody? Were you expecting someone to be in there?
It's a long story. Just ask Junpei about it sometime. Oh, well, fuck you. Well, just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. There is something in here, though. Well, two somethings, actually. What is that? There are two things on the bottom of the coffin. Looks like we've got a plate with an emblem on it, and...
The Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it! Now we can get through the hallway.
That's correct, Clover, but we need to... But we do need to get out of this room first, you know?
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get the hell out of here as quickly as possible.
I don't have any objections to that. I don't think we'll use the Neptune key in this room. It's really important, though, so I'll just keep it in my pocket for now. As far as this other thing goes. Coffin emblem. A metal plate shaped like a shield. It has a sort of crisscross crosshatch pattern on it, like a waffle. The waffle pattern looks like just like the lid of the coffin. Well, I put the emblem into the indentation, but nothing's happening. The indentations are numbered 1 through 4, and there are symbols of the steering wheel, a cross, a weird circle, and some kind of waffle paddle. Ah, there we go. Whoa! Well, now we've got something on the monitors, at least. What's that? Looks like some kind of puzzle.
I wonder if these are the rules. Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a numbered area, that area will be selected and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to be moved into that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Press the check button once you've moved all of the balls except for the red ones, which you cannot move. The digital root of the balls in the area must match the number for that area. That's it.
I still don't really get it. Whatever, like they say, practice makes perfect. Let's give it a shot. Don't you mean practice makes perfect? Prefix, okay. I misread that on purpose, thinking it was an error, and yeah, no. Hey, let's see you solve the next one, then you can make fun of me. Okay, so 6 and 3. Seven, 8 is 15, 6, 7 is 13. No, I can't use 9. Got it. 4 and 5 is 9. Oh, there are numbers left. Shit. Huh. Okay, so 6 and 7 is 13. Plus 8 is 21. No. Oh, got it. Sweet. Okay, this is it, right?
But nothing's happening.
There are still 3 more indentations left empty. I imagine something will happen when they are all filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Indentations on the desk. They have the numbers 1 through 4 written above them. There are symbols for a steering wheel, a cross, a weird circle, and some waffle patterns. So cross, weird circle, and waffle. Where do you put the steering wheel in? So... Got it? Hey, Junpei, something just showed up on the screen.
This puzzle sure looks a lot like the last one.
Yeah, but there's more of those red balls you can't move.
The numbers for each area are different too.
Looks like it's got the same rules as the last one, though. Sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. If I get confused, I can look up at the screen over there, right? Anyway, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that a picture is worth 1,000 words? Hey, shut it! At least I'm trying, alright? Okay. 5 and 6 is 11. So there's that one. Ah, got it. Sweet. That's awesome, Junpei. There's only 2 left now. You can do it. Just on the desk, they have the numbers 1 da da da. A weird circle and some waffle pattern. That would be the weird circle. Damn, this puzzle looks like a lot like the last one. Looks like the rules are the same, though.
Don't you think you should double check it?
Come on, this is the 3rd time I've done this. I'll be fine. So this, if you can't think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something. Ah, shut up! Just give me a break, alright? I'll think of something. 7 and 7. Okay. Nice! Excellent work, Junpei. You've got only 1 left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. See what happens when I put the emblem of the coffin into this indentation. This is the 4th one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last couple.
I think this is probably the last one.
Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. Alright. I'll solve it in no time. 8 and 9. Shit. Combination will not open the door. Shit. Okay, so I can't use any of those ones. How is this one? Damn it, I just don't get this one at all. The rules are displayed on the screen. Maybe I should read it again. Screen showing me the ball puzzle and the instructions for it. When you touch a numbered area, that area will be selected and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to be moved into that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Press the check button once you've moved all of the balls except for the red ones, which you cannot move. The digital read of the balls in the area must match the number for that area. Well, I guess those are the rules. So 7 and 8 is 15, plus 5 is 20. Okay, I got it. I got it! Huh? Where did that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard.
Way to go, Junpei! You answered all the questions!
Damn, Junpei, good job! Hey, did you hear something just now? Yes, I heard that as well. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe.
A picture.
Oh, nice. In the drawer was a single picture. He picked it up. It was a photograph of 4 men. Yeah, and they're gonna recognize Ace.
What the?
And the 9th man. Involuntarily, Junpei's eyebrows shot up. He'd seen 3 of them before.
What the hell is this?
Wait, the 3rd one? Who was the 3rd one? Oh! Could he have been Mr. X?
This man with a mustache on the right.
Oh.
He's the same guy.
Then that's the captain.
In the captain's quarters. He had the 0 bracelet on his left arm. And the 2nd man with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man. The one with bracelet number 9. He died after he went into door 5. But this guy, the one in the striped suit.
It's Ace.
Oh man, that's Ace.
Yeah, I guess it is.
No doubt about it.
7 and Clover had come to peer over Junpei's shoulders.
But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture? Not only Ace, the 9th man and Cap too.
As Junpei looked closer, he noticed the expression on each man's face. Their smiles suggested that they were close, at least to some degree.
And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How? How in the world are these 4 men connected?
Snake's voice broke into Junpei's thoughts.
You say Ace is in that picture?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger.
Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see it.
There's a 4th guy.
No, there's one more guy. He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart, but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize.
Snake knit his eyebrows.
What's the date of the photograph?
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the back?
Back?
Yes, the reverse. The other side.
Snake, I know what you mean by the back. Calm down. Junpei flipped the picture over.
Huh.
There it was. To be precise, it wasn't a date, but it was certainly significant. He read it out loud so that Snake would not be left in the dark.
Praying for the success of the Nonary project with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido.
Nonary project. Nijisaki. Kobuta. Musashido. Junpei immediately flipped the picture back over.
Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonary game 9 years ago.
Since Hongo wasn't mentioned, Junpei figured that could only mean he'd written the words on the back himself.
That means Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should be more shocked about this. It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be.
That their true identities did not come as a surprise was what Junpei found most surprising.
Why? Why am I not surprised?
Because we've already discovered this in another universe.
Very well. I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo.
Ace was the one in charge of the Nonary project. But why? Why am I so calm? It's like I already knew.
Ah, of course. I understand now.
Junpei looked over at Snake. In his own confusion, he had missed the dark look on the other man's face.
Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo.
Ace is Hongo?
Even as he asked, Junpei felt as though he'd already known. Almost as if someone had whispered it into his head that, yes, of course Ace was Hongo.
I had my suspicions from the beginning.
Oh yeah?
Their voices were similar. Too similar to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him.
Right.
Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened if I did.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was Hongo.
Oh, yes. I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago. You were in Building Q in Nevada. But Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like. But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I'd told you, Clover, I would have told everyone else.
Oh!
And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that.
Clover and Snake's conversation wasn't of particular interest to Junpei. He still couldn't make sense out of his strange feelings of knowledge. He was trying to organize his thoughts when he heard Seven's voice.
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture for a sec?
Sure.
He had no reason to say no, so Junpei handed the picture over. Seven stared at the picture and began to mutter the 4 names of the project leaders over and over to himself.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
His brow was furrowed, and his face was flushed. He's starting to remember.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
He chanted their names to himself, pacing back and forth across the floor.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
Seven shouldn't have known their names. After all, he hadn't been there when Junpei and Snake had spoken of them in the library. But as Junpei watched him pace, it was clear that he did know them.
Hey, Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet.
His eyes were red, and Junpei could see sweat beginning to bead on his forehead.
I'm this close to remembering. This close.
He was sweating heavily now, but his lips were dry.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro. Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nonary project.
He's got it. Then he stopped. Seven set down the picture and looked at the red light near his feet. His eyes narrowed. Then suddenly his eyes went wide and he shot up straight.
Shit.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit, this is nuts.
What's nuts?
I remember...
Remember what?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it.
Nice.
My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched.
Seven's voice was filled with excitement.
What?
Shock and excitement had frozen Junpei in place, along with Snake and Clover.
Let me tell you what happened.
Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo. From the right, the other 3 are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man, and Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
Realization began to dawn on Junpei, along with the pressing question.
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back.
Yeah?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
Seven rubbed the scar on his chin.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
Snake was the only one who didn't voice any sort of agreement. It looked to Junpei as if he was simply watching to see where Seven's sudden recovery might take them.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you everything.
Well, we don't have 3 days.
Just give us the short version, all right?
Short version, huh?
I was a cop investigating the kidnappings. The big man pulled off his hat and scratched his head. He made a face and put his hat back on.
All right, fine. Give it a shot. No promises, though.
Junpei and Clover nodded earnestly.
I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told.
Smart.
That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been cold as fuck, and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. It all had one thing in common. A history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. And my investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings. After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. My source told me this.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
So I headed to the wharf. In the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement there. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with a gun already in my hand.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it, too. Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one would find you for a week. That what you want? The fish here would love a meal.
I kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly,
Cold
a
cock.
sharp pain in my neck.
Or not.
A needle.
I did that again. Ugh, that's not the first time that's happened.
A drug? That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it! Shit, my head hurts. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink, a toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. It would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down. Huh. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5, or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold on. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then...
You pulled it off.
Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside. The first bit or so was tight. I had a wriggle on my belly. Wind up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along on my hands and knees. I went from crawling like a worm in dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in the thing long enough to start wondering where it'd take me, a massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door had just been slammed shut. Then, there was a voice.
Oh. Now, We know that alarm better than anybody, because that was the last ending.
What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news. Then, almost as if that was a cue, I heard a mess of young-sounding voices. A bunch of them were straight up screaming in terror. And all the sounds together made a howl that made the hair on my neck stand straight up.
They're all in the incinerator.
Damn it! What the hell is going on here? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place? I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome up top. There had to be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney. I looked down. There they were.
Oh, yeah.
Searching for.
Akane is one of them.
They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent. For the moment, from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Probably both, actually. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids.
So, the girl in the pink, that definitely looks like past Akane, based off of Junpei's memory. The kid in the black with the white hair, that's probably Santa. And then the kid in the blue and the yellow is probably Snake. Don't know who the girl in the blue hair is. Oh, no, the girl with the blue hair is probably one of Lotus's kids.
Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there, frozen. Well, except one. He was a boy, slightly older than the others, in a private school uniform.
Yep. Hi, Santa.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out.
How are you gonna help us?
Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there...
He kinda cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death.
Burned to death?
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. So...
The voice spoke again.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes.
So wait a minute, hold up. If each sibling was split up, then Akane can't be his sister. Because each sibling had been split up. They said it was perfect.
I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. No way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there. I'm gonna be right back.
What? Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here?
They just got frightened again.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I blame them.
I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I try to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as I could on his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of there, but I had a plan. I needed something from the room.
Bed sheets.
When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into strips.
Yep.
Put them together to make a rope. It was sloppy, but it got the job done. All right, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
Right.
Huh. Wait a sec. Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said!
And what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them!
Why not?
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door...
He was in the middle of explaining.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
Oh shit.
The wall shook a bit, and a voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, alright? Just get us out of here!
Right! I grabbed onto the rope. First one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. A boy in a jacket came after. He said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in.
God damn it! What's going on here?
That would be Ace, I think.
Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids?
Yep, that would be Ace.
The door opened, and a man stepped in looking half mad with fury. I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my investigation. The man's name was Gintaro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Yeah! It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope. Hurry!
I know!
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit! 15
feet. 10. The second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost.
Die.
His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face. He was really a terrifying devil or some kind of damn monster. I quickly reeled in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me from the floor.
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment!
Bye.
Experiment? What experiment?
No time.
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the hell are you doing? Hurry up!
The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. I may have thrown a salute to the raging asshole's face before I closed the door behind him.
May have. No, you did.
We went to going back to the cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. Everybody nodded and took turns sliding down it. The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door. But the one on the right was familiar.
The incinerator.
It had black and yellow stripes, and a device next to it on the wall. The plate on it read, Incinerator. Incinerator?
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
Yep.
Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looks like it's been shut off, though.
Wait, what? If he's still in there...
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, we need to leave. Now.
That meant we better. We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door. Hurry! The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. We went up and up and up. Our feet pounded the steps. Our arms pumping fast. We went round and round and round. The devil was on our tail. The stairway kept going. We passed a couple of landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke.
Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us.
Akane?
My kid sister. The girl with the red necktie.
Akane. That's strange. I didn't remember seeing that man on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too. So did the other two kids. When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
No, that's impossible.
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs.
He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait! I don't think the kid even heard me.
Nope.
Fuck! I spun around to the boy in the jacket, and the girl with the ponytail. I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? You got it? The girl nodded and ran up the stairs. The boy.
I'm going with you.
Snake, you stubborn little asshole.
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. I could hear him following me. We ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Kane was nowhere to be found.
God damn it, where the hell did she go?
I could tell the kid was frustrated. And then suddenly...
Help me! Somebody help me!
We heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed in after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Kane by the arm.
Oh, he found her.
Into the incinerator.
Come on, goddammit, move!
No, I don't want to! Let me go, please! Let go of me!
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win.
Akane!
My brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo.
Help me!
Ah! You're too late,
Yep.
idiot!
They've screwed the pooch there with Connie.
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting. Before we could even blink, Hongo had leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside. And then, the door slammed shut. We ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open. But...
Fuck! It's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch!
He started slamming his fists against the door. He was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
You came back!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Yep.
Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's the same damn thing!
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, all right? We're gonna figure out a way to save you.
His words would have seemed like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was right then.
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Please help me! I'm really scared! I don't want to die! Please, I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
It's gonna be all right. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise.
It was torture listening to her sobbing on the other side of the door. Her brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white.
Is there any way to get back into the vent that you can maybe pull her back out? It was silent. All they could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited and waited, but Seven didn't continue.
What happened then?
Junpei couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor.
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Then...
Yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered.
Seven shook his head. But there was something Junpei had to know.
Hey, are you sure?
Huh?
Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl, Akane, really...
Seven stared straight ahead at nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something... burning. We... Fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up anymore. A few minutes passed. The door opened.
They saw charred remains.
The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet running in. We followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made my lungs feel like they were on fire. It was like standing on hot asphalt. The air was wavering, and in the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad, I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Junpei felt a cold lump form in the pit of his stomach. A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. He desperately did not want to know the answer he feared he knew already, but he had to ask. He had to know for sure.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What's that?
The girl, Akane. What was her last name?
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay? Please?
Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips.
Kurashiki.
There we go.
Her name was Akane Kurashiki.
So then, who was the girl that Junpei grew up with? Something inside of Junpei stopped. He had no more words left. He had no more Junpei left. He was just a shell of flesh and bone. Seven turned to Snake.
You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You are correct, Detective.
Junpei's mind was blank, withdrawing from the world. Somewhere far away, he could hear Seven and Snake talking.
Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago.
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero? I told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada, in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you!
Her surprise seemed to be genuine. Seven regarded Clover for a minute and rubbed his chin thoughtfully.
Well, I guess I believe you.
Clover nodded.
All right, let me ask you another question.
He stuck his hand into his pocket and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them again.
Santa's real name is Aoi Kurashiki. He's Akane's brother. You know that?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki was her brother, but I didn't know he was Santa. At least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection.
Yeah.
As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi.
When did you figure it out?
Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago, while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling.
Santa is Aoi? Akane Kurashiki, June's brother?
That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to coalesce in his mind, coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back.
There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like a lot. But there is one thing I think we can say we know.
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake.
What?
Come on, man. What kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already?
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, all right? Cut me some slack.
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary project.
And the death of Aoi Kuroshiki's sister.
Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge?
Yep.
Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death of his sister. That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone.
In fact, Junpei didn't think. He knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa had killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at his sudden knowledge and had even begun to accept it.
If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Snake, Clover, and Seven all nodded.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words,
Ace. There was a moment of silence.
What?
And then the room shook. From far away, they heard the sudden rush of water.
Whoa, what the hell's going on here?
It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Shit!
Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
In the drawer that held the picture was the key card. Junpei grabbed it.
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.